The people who change the most are usually the ones you stop hearing from. Not the ones who post the transformation, not the ones who announce the new job, the new body, the new relationship with themselves. The real shifts, the ones that actually stick, tend to happen in the silence right before someone disappears from your radar for a while. And then, months later, they resurface. Same face, different person. And you can't quite explain what's different, only that something clearly is. This isn't a coincidence, it's a pattern, and once you see it, you'll start noticing it everywhere. In a friend who went quiet, in a sibling who stopped explaining their plans, maybe even in yourself at some point you didn't fully register at the time. So here's the question worth sitting with. Why do some people rebuild their entire lives without telling anyone it's happening? The easy answer is privacy, but that's not the real one. The real one is something closer to survival. Think about what happens the moment you tell people you're changing. You say it out loud, I'm going to start over. I'm working on myself. Things are going to be different. And almost immediately, you've created an audience. And an audience changes the experiment. Suddenly, you're not just changing, you're performing change. Every setback becomes visible. Every slow week feels like proof you were never serious. People start watching for the moment you go back to who you used to be, and some part of you starts watching for it too. Psychologists have a name for part of this: impression management, the constant, mostly unconscious work of shaping how others see us. It's exhausting even when things are going well. But when you're in the middle of becoming someone new, impression management can actually get in the way of the becoming. So some people solve the problem the only way that reliably works. They stop narrating. They just go quiet and they let the work happen where no one's grading it. There's another layer underneath that though, and it's a little more uncomfortable to talk about. Sometimes the withdrawal isn't confident. Sometimes it's shame. A person going through a breakup, a financial collapse, a diagnosis, a failure they didn't see coming, they might not disappear because they found clarity. They might disappear because they can't stand the thought of being watched while they're falling apart. That's worth naming honestly, because not every quiet season is a growth season. Some of it is avoidance wearing the same outfit as healing. The two can look identical from the outside and sometimes even from the inside, at least at first. What tends to separate them is what happens inside the silence. If the silence is just numbness, scrolling, sleeping, avoiding, it usually stays that way until something forces a change. But if the silence has direction, even a small one, something shifts. A person starts going to bed an hour earlier, starts putting money aside without a plan for it yet, starts reading again, or walking again, or simply sitting with a feeling instead of drowning it out. None of it looks like transformation from the outside. It looks like nothing. But underground, something is moving. That's really the closest comparison. A tree doesn't grow a visible inch the week its root system deepens. All the important work happens below the surface, in the dark, completely unannounced, and by the time anyone sees new growth above ground, the tree has already done the part that actually mattered. If you've ever wondered why some people seem to reappear stronger, calmer, more certain of themselves, with no dramatic story to explain it, this is usually why. The story wasn't dramatic, it was just private. Here's where it gets more interesting though. Psychologist Edward Deci and his colleague Richard Ryan spent years studying what actually makes people motivated from the inside instead of needing outside pressure to keep going. What they found, in simple terms, is that we do our most honest, most sustainable work when we feel like our choices genuinely belong to us, not when we're performing for someone's approval. And an audience, even a well-meaning one, quietly threatens that. The moment other people are watching your growth, part of you starts growing for them. Take the audience away, and something interesting happens. The motivation gets weirdly more stable, not less. Not because attention doesn't matter to us, it clearly does, but because without it, there's nothing left to perform. There's just the decision made again, quietly, every day. This is also where the disappearing act stops being about privacy and starts being about identity. Carl Jung wrote about the mask we build to face the world, the version of ourselves shaped by what other people expect, reward, and recognize.
useful most of the time, but it can also quietly calcify into the only version anyone remembers you as. And once people have a fixed idea of who you are, they tend to unconsciously pull you back toward it, not of malice, just familiarity. The old jokes, the old assumptions, the comment that means well but still says, "I know you." When someone is trying to change while still standing inside that expectation, it's like trying to renovate a house while guests keep walking through it, admiring the old layout, telling you they liked it better before. So some people close the door first, not to hide the person they're becoming, to protect them while they're still too new to defend themselves.
If you're still watching this, there's a decent chance some part of this feels familiar. Maybe not from your own life, but someone else's. Maybe a friend who went quiet for a while and you never quite asked why. It might be worth telling them, in the comments or somewhere else, that you noticed. And here's the part that tends to surprise people most. The goal for a lot of these quiet rebuilders was never really to become someone new. Underneath all of it is something closer to remembering, trying to locate whoever they were before they learned to adjust themselves for every room they walked into, before the performing started, before the mask fit so well they forgot they were wearing one. That's why the return often looks so different from the outside, but feels, to the person, almost like relief. Not "look who I've become," closer to "there you are." Rebuilding in secret was never really about the secrecy. It was about finally getting a version of your life that wasn't shaped by an audience, even for a little while. And maybe that's worth asking yourself honestly the next time you feel the urge to disappear for a bit and figure something out. Not who are you trying to become, but who were you before you started explaining yourself to everyone else. If this made you think of a season in your own life or someone else's, you know where the comments are. And if this kind of content resonates with you, you can stay connected by subscribing and turning on notifications so you don't miss future uploads. See you in the next one.